6 o'clock, call the meeting to order. So regular city council meeting, July 13th. Roll call, Derwin Tomfrey.
Here.
Mike Metlin.
Present.
Joey Bjornson's here. Keith Warney is not available this evening. Yeah, city clerk Brett Gagnon Pellet.
Present.
All right, we'll go to the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We don't have Laura yet. All right, we'll go to the agenda. Approval of the agenda. The only thing we do want to change is 5.1. The audit results, he won't be here at that time. We're gonna have to move him down the schedule. So I would suggest we move him to the end.
We met Jay.
Yeah. Yeah, new business. Else that needs changing or adding.
Move to approve the modified agenda.
We actually have closed session, but
No, we don't have. Yeah, we can just completely scratch 15
15 is correct.
completely.
Are you gonna bump Laura in when she shows up? I mean, is it a technicality? You have to put her at the end, or can you slip her in when she shows?
we can slip her in.
Okay.
She always ends up having to be last. Try to move her up today.
I would second Mike's motion to approve the agenda as presented with that one change.
Favor say aye.
Uh,
Same sign, agenda's approved. And sign up for public non-zeros. Okay, that moves us into the consent agenda. Everybody had a chance to look through all that stuff. I did want to mention one thing in there so that everybody's aware. The National Night Out is August 4th. Out at the park from 5 to 7. I just want to make sure the public and everybody's aware of that.
I just had one comment too, when I was looking at the election judge pay schedule. Was it always $15? Did we ever bump that up just to try to entice people to be participants? Or
Not since I've been here.
Okay.
That's been our
Or
standard.
maybe it's the chief judge gets additional pay. No, they're all the $15. Okay.
Diane and I were talking about providing some food, set a budget, but I need to research that and find the legalities.
Yeah, it's very touchy.
Because right now it's just show up here, bring your own food, and go be an election judge. I know some cities do a little better than that. I just got to be able to produce the right info.
That's on your end, Jody.
We do appreciate that they show up for that low wage.
And I'm glad we have two more.
Is
It,
there anything else in the consent agenda for discussion? Minutes look good. I didn't find anything.
we even took some time to read them out loud.
Looking for a motion to approve?
Yep.
So moved.
Everyone,
Second.
favor say aye.
Aye.
Both same sign. Consent agenda approved. We don't have any public hearings. Got the planning and zoning minutes from the June 4th meeting.
An ordinance that you guys have been working on, I'm talking about the hunting ordinance. is that, something that DNR also endorses? Well, I know there's like a 500 foot,
Yeah,
clearance you have to have before you discharge a firearm, but
there's a whole bunch of rules and regs that go with it.
are they written by the DNR or is that some of the other agency that writes those?
I don't think the DNR does.
No, we
Okay.
did send our draft to the DNR and it did come back with their concurrence and blessing.
Oh, okay.
So,
It's pretty much a copy of,
they did.
it's a copy of other cities, basically. I mean, we didn't have anything major in there. And there's a lot of regulation that goes with it for people that want to sign up for it. They have to sign up and follow the rules. That will come for public hearings at next month or?
I mean, realistically, I think we're looking at September at the earliest. And, the reason I say that is, well, we got a lot of proposed amendments and I think at our next meeting, we're gonna recap everything, from when we started in April. And then, I think we'll probably ask for a recommendation to pass it to the council at that point.
One more question related to our property abuts the city limit line. And there's 80 acres of state land there. Does that rule supersede what the state has? Cause there's no firearm discharge on that property presently. And can they put,
From the state?
yeah, can they put, deer stands up on that and maintain them on state property? Or does it fall under the state DNR restrictions on, permanent deer stands?
If it's state land, it should follow state. It's in city limits, but if it's state land,
Yeah, there's gonna be some kind of supremacy clause where it doesn't matter what we legislate, whatever the state
And
says.
supersede anything we would,
correct.
okay,
I didn't realize that was state land.
yeah, there's 80 acres sitting there.
Next to Bart's.
No, our property, right, where Omega ends,
Yeah.
going, east on the dirt
Yeah,
road.
and then Bart's after that.
You know where that power line goes through there?
Yeah.
Everything to the north is state land. There's a 240 stacked on top of each other.
Yeah, as always, the state will supersede our little rules. All right, that gets us into new business. All right, Chris, you're in the hot seat. Literally this time. So what's the good word?
The good word is construction is moving forward. So start with what they've completed so far on the other side of the highway for Balsam and Second Street over there. The water main is in. That's all good. And they've started on grading the street work. Getting ready for, there's a little bit of curb and gutter that goes on the last half a block there by the church and funeral home. They'll get that in first. And they'll plan on getting gravel up to the elevation needed. We'll see when paving would happen soon after that.
Are they gonna pave before they do the rest of the project?
Well, that's a good question.
Okay,
You know.
I didn't know if they were
may
gonna
try
just
to get this segment done here too, and
Yeah.
then schedule a pave.
Yeah.
See. It's like,
yeah, they just graded that off today and I've got about that much drop off the end of my driveway.
right.
I'm hoping they put the class 5 in there shortly. Sugar sand doesn't work out real well.
So in that, all that new excavation, we had talked about this at a prior meeting about the compaction certification. So the company that's certifying the compaction, are they on the hook if everything settles and different pockets settle?
No, it's always the contract that's on the hook for his efforts, his compaction efforts that he's putting into the project.
At this point, they must have compaction tests done over there, right?
Yep.
Because they're grading off, so I figured that compaction test must be.
You know, we take series of compaction tests. We take it in the pipe trench zone, so we can, verify that. When they bring the street up to, I'll call it subgrade, without the class 5 on it, the subgrade elevation, we'll test those compaction efforts for the upper 3 feet of the road bed. And then when they place class 5, we'll also test that for compaction efforts too. Everything's coming out really good as far as compaction tests, so. And, we stay on them, they try to cut a few corners here and there. Stay on them as far as, hey, you gotta get in there, compact that properly, and don't forget that, so.
I'll have to come and check my driveway out. They did quite a number on that.
So it's the asphalt.
Yeah, well, it cracked way back farther than we had planned on cutting. Cause that sand gives way when they brought that big machine in there. I mean, it's the smallest machine they have, I think, rubber track, but it cracked it quite a ways farther in and
Okay.
a little bit of.
Let's take a look at that.
there, but,
Okay, we'll further back then.
yeah, and then my yard's quite a mess, but manhole ain't in yet, so I'm sure they'll patch it all up. I should mow that spot now at least.
Great.
It's a pretty good sized spot.
On this side, in front of City Hall, coming up from the highway, they've got a good portion of the sewer in up to the intersection of Cedar. They'll be heading down Cedar tomorrow with the rest of the sewer. They do have water main in up to right up to the force main. Yep. So right in front of the building here. They'll continue the water main efforts after the sewer's in. Then they got some storm sewer to put in too, as far as underground utilities on this side.
Actually, this corner, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, so long.
There.
Is True Star aware that their street's gonna be completely tore out tomorrow?
They're notified. Contract is pretty good about that.
How much of the city storm sewer runs into Spirit? How much runs into the river? You know, is it split in half basically, or?
The only thing, I'll say probably nothing is going to get to the river. With this corner out here, that's gonna tie into the storm sewer that comes from down.
It's that holding pond that's going east on the Twin Lakes Road.
That was a holding pond back here.
Mm,
We'll take that. I don't think you've ever seen water, but maybe once get to the second pond. Maybe
Very trickled over. Yeah, it was.
So we don't have any of our storm water going into the Blueberry River is what you're telling me.
It doesn't make it that far.
It doesn't make it that far, it just stays right in this first. I mean, we'd have to have up to the amount of feet of rain to be able to even get over top of that.
Anyway, that question came up at the SLA meeting today and I said I would ask you guys, so thank you.
It's probably some that comes out state highway that goes down to. I'm sure their storm system. That's
The only thing is the bridge.
Is the grid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause everything else goes, that storm and then goes into that little low swamp area. Now their new system in 28, they're gonna be storm drain and it'll go further, cause they're gonna put curb and gutter all the way up to the bridge.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the status of the project right now. You haven't seen anything start down by the lake, but the first thing we'll see is tree removals, and that could be coming here soon. I haven't heard a definite date on it yet, but we got quite a few trees that will come down. Ron added to the list. I did, which is good because, yeah, they're dying on town.
Red cottonwoods, them are all coming out. The ones that are.
All those homeowners are aware of which trees are coming out, so we don't get any screaming phone calls.
Yeah, they were commenting about them cottonwood too, how dangerous they are, cause all them tops are dead,
Limbs up there.
you know.
Is there any plan to, remove these trees along that shoreline or
There
not?
is a certain amount,
Nothing in our project
not
plan.
that.
So the city would have to take it upon themselves to reestablish, okay.
PFA,
Yep, PFA. They are having issues. You know, we've heard from other engineering firms, other cities are having the same issue. As you guys are seeing with the delay in response of what is the funding for the city. We reached out to the head gal there. Her name is Mary Jane. She is actually retiring next Monday. Stepping away. I don't know if that was planned retirement or knee-jerk retirement because they are about 20 individuals short within their staff of what they should have. Reached out to Mary Jane. We said, can we at least get some kind of estimate? I mean, if you don't have all the numbers together, whatever, with some kind of an estimate. So the good news is she came back with an estimate. She said, please, take this as an estimate. The final will come. But the estimate is $494,000 and some dollars.
Grant?
Grant. So that's a good chunk. It helps a lot on the water side of the project, the water system.
Do you have any idea when the final numbers would come out?
So there's no clue as far as low interest loans, what amount we would get from them.
The low interest loan part, she's stating it's gonna be a 2% loan for that. You guys are eligible instead of just 20 years, you go for the 30-year term on the project too. So I'm guessing that's what you want to do, just to lower the
Property owners?
494 is grant.
494 is grant. And it's the low interest loan.
So we could do the whole rest of the project at the low interest?
No, just the water.
The water
portion, which includes some street replacements.
That's a chunk.
It's like 1 point, is it pushing 1.6 million for the full package,
Sure.
loan and grants, so. That helps, but we are still waiting for final people.
Yeah, so we can't really do any kind of assessment estimates until we have actual,
I wouldn't step in.
we need real numbers. Well, at least we have some information finally. Appreciate the pushing.
We had to push.
Yeah.
So, other than that, midsummer must have went well and oceans, good. It was nice that they could stay out of the beach.
Yeah, no, it was awesome.
Yeah, there was big crowds down there along the beach.
We used to have 60 to 70 kids at the fishing derby for the kids derby, which was a lot.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good midsummer.
I believe that's all the news I have on the project. I don't know if there's anything else to add.
Well, as you can see that all the levels keep changing. Till we finally get over here and they get moved. Power could be overflowing periodically, so
So that's all it is. They're just,
it's opening, closing different valves, so it changes all the telemetries that are set in the water plant. So,
is that why our water pressure drops sometimes? I was wondering, cause I was taking a shower the other day and it went down to just about nothing.
yep.
And then a little while later, it was back up.
Yeah.
That's why I figured there had to be something
So
going
the
on.
different valves and everything, so.
Brenda, I believe you saw the email from the state for
Yes. Yes, the,
7 water bill.
okay,
I think it was $5,000 or something like that.
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that 87 gonna be open along there, or you have to cut them across and around
No,
and
we'll keep
so
87.
it will be open, okay, good.
That's all boring. It's all boring under there, right?
Yeah, we'll bore all the service lines underneath the highway and over if it's on the lake. We'll bore the main trunk line of water main in along the side of the highway.
You're not gonna open trench that. That's gonna be bored.
That's gonna be boring. Well, yeah, just because of its close proximity to the highway itself
Yeah.
and the yards and where do you start throwing dirt when you're trenching? That was an issue. This is gonna be a lot quicker, easier and less cleanup and
So you're just gonna abandon the old line then? Leave it in place and just jog it over? So they won't tear up hardly anything though. Just the connections on the other side, basically.
it'll be the connection services to the main and then across side. Curb stop area. Oh, yeah.
Well,
Good news.
at least we got some information.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Monthly pay estimate.
Yeah, Chris, can you talk monthly pay estimate?
Yeah. Forgot about that.
Which I was gonna ask too. It's like, are we getting ourselves into a pickle? I mean, I know these guys wanna get paid, I'm sure.
Yes, we have to provide a prompt payment to the contractor, so. The steps of doing this are you can, if you have it in your coffers, make that first payment. If the second payment comes due and
still have enough, that's great. If we still haven't heard from the PFA at that point. Because the process with the PFA is, they get their paperwork, apply, submit it, and then they start the reimbursement process to the city for these bills. So without having that in place right now, what we can do is, or what the city can do is reach out to Minnesota Rural Water also. Get temporary, call it a temporary construction loan. It's a very quick and easy application, if that's what we need to step into. And you only get charged interest for what you used,
How long
the time you've used it. And then PFA does kick into where we should be right now, submitting reimbursements to, then you just pay that off. So that could be an interim solution.
So how are we for the first payment?
This amount due, 243,000. We could easily absorb this. I would not feel comfortable doing this twice, though.
So is that, how soon would we have to get with rural water in order to know we could get that done?
It's a fairly quick process with them. It's like a one-page application, pretty straightforward. They work with the city to get everything in place, and I think with them, a week or two, you can have the funds available. Is what I'm hearing. So
Probably would be wise to go ahead and get that in place.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, just to at least be ready, have it sitting there as an option just in case that second payment comes up before PFA is kicked in.
I mean, I'm going to move on this
That
immediately.
way we're not last minute scrambling.
You have the compact
Of course, yes,
for Minnesota rural?
I do.
Water?
Oh yeah. And I'm going to keep Todd abreast of everything as well, because when it comes to these large amounts of cash, easy to track, but I don't want to put the city in any type of jeopardy, because we'll hear from Dean eventually, but we're in a pretty good spot right now, and I want to make sure we stay there.
Hold on, rate, Minnesota water.
I do not.
I would assume they try to keep things pretty low.
I believe they are pretty low. If I wanted to say, I guess 4 to 5%. Quote me on that, but kind of what I remember in the past.
And it's very short term, or should be very short term,
That's great.
month or something. At least we have the option. But yeah, I think we should be,
And then
have that in place just in case we have to pull the trigger on that. But we're not scrambling. The motion,
Do we need a motion to pay the invoice?
it's all part of the contract, right?
Is.
Which we've approved the contract. So
But I made on disbursements, you should approve it,
it wouldn't hurt if we wanted
just in
to.
case you want to contest something.
And what was that amount?
I'd say, yeah, I think that'd be just a smart move.
I'll move that we make the payment of $243,695.95 for the work performed to date.
I would second that.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Both same sign. We can pay the bill.
Thanks, everyone.
Well,
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
let's bump Laura up in the schedule.
I actually got asked if they needed to come in the hall.
Did you?
I didn't send you it. I sent it in before the last meeting.
Oh. Well, the answer is always yes, Laura.
I sent my report before the last meeting and you guys approved the report, didn't you, or not? Or-
Yes.
Yeah, we
Yes.
just.
Yeah.
the work.
So I don't know that you needed me today, but I stopped.
Yeah, thank you.
No, building permit has not,
Still empty?
no, that has not. I mean, I didn't talk to him today. I was off last week, so I really didn't have any conversation with him,
Are
so
they able to give you any
no.
idea when?
We have a construction meeting tomorrow morning, so I'll ask about it then. Otherwise, I have no idea on it.
So basically, we're stuck where we're at now, right? I
I
mean,
mean,
cause they
They
can't do
haven't really
any,
done anything. I actually didn't even see if, the guy was there today.
yeah, the only thing they could do was some underground until they got that approved.
And Cooper, I didn't even see his truck there today, so I don't think he was there, so.
So that's holding up the project at this
It
point.
is. Let's hope we have that already done.
Is that what they took down the Valen Connections video live stream?
No, that, West Central, it went down last week. Of course, I wasn't checking it, and one day I went on and I'm surprised nobody else said anything or anybody, and so I emailed West Central, Josh, and I said, I don't know if anybody said anything, but I said, I can't see it on my phone at home, so is it working? And he said, no, it wasn't, and they got it going again, but is it going now? Should be.
It wasn't going last night.
Oh, okay. He said it should
It
be.
may be going today. I didn't check today.
No, it should have been up and running last week on Friday.
I wasn't going yesterday.
Okay.
No, there was no project, so.
Well, I'm not gonna say, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good
Not that I
idea.
check it every day, which I don't.
Good idea to take it down because then people are like, what's going on? What are you saying? Nothing's happening. It's nothing happening. But otherwise, everything, I mean, I was gone last week and I think our census has been really good, 16 in the TCU again. And I think we were hopefully hitting 64 and we haven't had 64 residents since before 2020. So
Oh,
yeah, so that's good. I know for a while their census, because of our TCU not filling it, but now that we've been keeping it pretty full. So
Excellent.
I don't really think there's anything else. And we got the doors in, the smoke doors in, look good. Had some issues with keys at first, but we got all that lock situation taken care of, and
now it's just a matter of next year's inspection to see about the other doors.
yeah,
Is what it amounts.
fire marshal says, yeah, the other one's the room doors, but we're leaning in the right direction with the colors, so it looks good. So when we get new doors, it'll all flow together. So, but anyway, yeah, that's all I have.
I don't think we had anything else for you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Go home early.
Yeah, I'm going. The audit went good. Haven't done that yet.
Well, he should be here pretty soon.
I did have something that I was supposed to meet with the auditors, and she was getting back to me, but
Your auditor?
yeah, because of your audit.
Oh,
Mm,
Yeah, cause when we approve, it's all tied together, but
yeah, but she said it was not a big deal. It'll take 10-15 minutes, but we didn't meet, so.
Yep.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah.
all right, how about Allison? Economic allowance.
Well, hello, thank you
Hello.
for giving me a few minutes. My name is Allison Medic. I'm the new executive director of the Economic Alliance. And I don't know how familiar you are with that organization. It's been around since 2011. We're a nonprofit led by area business leaders and community leaders. And today, I'm looking to renew a relationship with Monaga in hopes that we can partner on economic development that's happening here and around the county. A little bit about me. Formerly, I was with serving Crow Wing with the Brainerd Lakes Area Economic Development Corporation as the associate director. My focus was on supporting businesses. A big part of my role was the lead connection to the North Central Small Business Development Center. So that's housed at Central Lakes College, but it covers an area of 11 counties. And so Wadena County is a satellite site for business consulting services and has been since 2024. So when I came on, we were able to continue that designation because of that partnership. We have a lot of programming that will be starting. Again, that's a lot of what I did in Crow Wing County. So supporting businesses. So if there's businesses that are looking to start and they're not sure what to do, they can access no-cost services through us. I'll also have events. I know previously the executive director held, I think she called it Grow and Gather. So evening events where they're talking about business things like how to use AI or how to become lender ready or succession planning. So if there's a business looking to sell their business at some point, what do they need to do to prepare so that that can go smoothly? So a lot of different things. This fall, we have marketing mornings starting. That's something that I piloted in Crow Wing County. We're bringing that to Wadena County. Our site will be at Central Lakes College Staples campus, but anybody can access that. So in person or virtual, that'll be once a month throughout the year. And then we also have an 8-week cohort called Startup Accelerated. So if anybody is looking to start a business or new in business, that's virtual. So anybody can access that. It's over the lunch hour 2 times a week for 8 weeks. So those are a few of the things that we have going on with North Central SBDC. The other part is just supporting the communities around the topics that a lot of the counties all over are dealing with. Housing is a big one. I would say in all of my conversations, that's the biggest topic. I've been a part of the Housing Trust Fund conversations. I know we invited Monaga to be a part of that. We do have funds available, and we're looking to start figuring out what those programs or policies are around those funds to be used for housing. We also have a countywide housing study that we are working on in collaboration with a variety of entities in hopes to update the 2020 housing study. And so I think with that happening during COVID, there's questions of the relevancy of that, but also housing studies are good for about 5 years. And so we're almost 6 to 7 years out from when that original study happened. So, so that is in the works as well. Opportunity zone, that was another thing. I think when you have a regional or a nonprofit entity for economic development, in Minnesota did contact me about an opportunity zone here in Wadena County. The federal government had one census tract that was available, but we had to apply for it. And so we hadn't applied for it. And so I took the lead and worked with the county to get that application in. And then Governor Walz will be choosing, I think there's 73 out of 200 some census tracts that will get that designation in 2027. Other things, Monaga CNC, I supported and helped them get a grant through the Initiative Foundation. So they'll be working with that as a cohort over the course of the year, and they received $5,000 for those efforts. And then I supported Civica to get a CETA grant for $13,500 to look at business facade and improving that. So when we look at economic development, what's good in one part of the county is good for another part of the county. I know there's a lot of good things happening here. When I'm in around the county, Monaga has a lot of positive, it's a positive reputation. And so a lot of good things happening here. Your businesses, I'm hearing a lot of young entrepreneurs that are coming out and starting their own businesses. I talked with one of the banks, and so I'm hoping that we can connect to get some of that no-cost consulting if they need support in getting up and running, whether that's being lender ready, marketing, that sort of thing. So I just want us to collaborate. I want you to be a part of the efforts and to be at the table and want to renew that relationship.
Is there a charge for that when they come and talk with you and get all that? It's all
No cost.
it's all done
Yep.
through the grant.
So the one 8-week cohort, we use what's called the fast track. It's a Kaufman curriculum. There is a cost for that, and so we state that. But if they want one-on-one, hey, I started a business. This is what we do. I started a business. I don't know if I did everything right. Can you help me? What did I do? Or I registered my business, but now what? Okay, so we can help them with the business plan, being lender ready. It's not just me. We have access then to the network of 20 plus consultants. So depending on what they need, I may partner or refer out to, depending on what they're looking for. But yes, no cost. And then a lot of the events like marketing mornings, that's free. So there's a lot of just know us before you need us, I would say, letting people know that it's there. Or if you're at Thanksgiving dinner and they're somebody's saying they have a business idea, you send them our way and we can flush out the idea and see if that's something that would be feasible. So. Any questions?
So we're looking for $1,500 deal is what it
For
was.
2027, I'm on the route for looking for next year.
What's the council think?
Anytime you can promote entrepreneurs, at least young ones, to get started, sounds positive. And I know $1,500 doesn't go a long ways, but what does the money go to? To their salary and transportation?
It's just
The cost of doing business?
foundational, so that it's just me. And so it's me trying to make sure that Wadena County is at the table when we're talking with our regional directors, Region 5 Initiative Foundation, Deed. Deed called me when we had the opportunity zone. So it's trying to be that bigger picture,
You kind of a connection.
the connection, the convener, and can kind of see big picture where you need to focus on your community. Everybody needs to focus on their own communities. You are all different entities and have your own personalities and assets, and we want to keep it that way. But if we're having conversations about housing, or another community is, talking about funding that's available, let's share those ideas versus all being islands and not, because we can be better together that way. So it's really about, at this point, to keep the lights on so I can just continue to.
Do we budget for anything like that? Do you have excess money sitting anywhere that could help fund that?
Well, I think we can definitely talk about this at a future budget meeting for 27. And I think we'd be able to support that. So
Are you looking for a commitment tonight or at some point before that?
That's something, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that would be great as we start our budget this fall. So if you have some budget meetings coming.
What businesses have started in the outlying communities within the county through your efforts?
Well, specific businesses that I've helped, so I wouldn't be able to
In the
tell you.
outlying communities, not Wadena, the outlying
Yeah.
communities of the county.
So I can't tell you the business name because it's confidential. So, but there is a business that started up that did a sort of repair in general and contacted us, and we walked through all the different steps and had done most of them. And then I gave him additional resources.
What
So,
kind of employment is that business expected to create?
so one person now, but hoping to add employees and also build a building. So if a business gives me the okay to say their name, then I can share that, but it's
Yeah,
confidential.
I'm not interested in
Yeah.
actual business
Yeah.
names, but I am interested in what businesses in the outlying
Yes.
communities of the county, not what
Yes.
have been created through your efforts.
Yeah. And so, and I think I've heard that I think that is a concern where the efforts are going. And so the biggest thing is getting the word out that our resource is available so that anybody can access that. And I would say that's my goal as I revamp our website and we have things where it's easy to get to so people know what the resources are for housing, for businesses, for marketing.
I came out of Becker County, is where I came out of, and I was active over there with the West Central Initiative Fund on their board and so
Okay.
forth, and I banked over there. And, there was the economic development entities there. Unfortunately, their attitude was all roads lead to Detroit Lakes.
Mhm.
And the focus was on Detroit Lakes and business. That's where the focus got. The outlying communities within the county really didn't receive a lot of benefit from that endeavors and those efforts. And that's why I asked.
Mhm. Well, I think
Well,
that's a
that's
great
what
question.
And
I
that's
want
what
you to
you're
have
trying
that.
to do. is
That's
to
what we're
get-
trying to do. And the board of I mean, that's why this organization was created. So it's not heavy in one area. We need to make sure that we are looking at all of Wadena County. So that is why this
And
organization exists.
is the board representative of the entire county?
We have, well, Verndale, I could say the board members. So we have, Ray at Star Bank from Verndale. We have Cheryl Hahn from Sabika. We have Merlin Krekla from the commissioners. Wadena State Bank. Is it Jason? Sorry. Meetings. Sorry, Ryan. Allison Fredrickson from Todd Wadena Co-op, Bruce Kinnanen from Kinnanen Insurance. Got Amy Olson from West Central, John Laughlin from West Central, Jordan Hinkle from Hinkle Realty, Kim Agard from Astera Health. That's everybody.
It sounds like a pretty good representation from Rowan County.
And I think people who care and want best for Wadena County. So there is not just one. And I think when you have larger cities, I mean, we get this in all counties where you have maybe a city that seems, like it's getting more attention. I think part of it too is success builds on success. So if we have some young entrepreneurs who are starting here and doing well, that breeds success as well. And so people will see those opportunities. The other part is people who have those ideas, we want to engage them to let them know to consider those ideas here in Wadena County versus somewhere else as well. So that we have everything here, like broadband. You talk about even people moving here and being able to work remotely or hybrid. There's a lot of access with the highway. So you can get a family in here, and even though those big cities, at least you might have somebody who could work in the big city, but we could still live here. And so that's the benefit of still having and taking advantage of those regional outlets, because then people can be, they say, you're not in the middle of nowhere, you're actually in the middle of everywhere. So we just have to tell the story. So
On the issue of housing, what is the focus to address that problem?
that's what we're trying to figure out.
Mm.
Yeah. So right now I'm not aware of any programs or policies except for the houses. So for example, the Housing Trust Fund is for development or rehab. That's about all that I know at this point. Those are the only parameters. So then who does that go to? That's what the committee needs to figure out. And what are the funds? What can they be used for, and what parameters are on that? So different buckets of funding has different requirements. So that's what the committee has to figure out. And then we need to get that information out so those that can access those funds can know the process.
In my opinion, that $1,500 is a pretty small ask that we should be able to work into a budget for 27 fairly easily. And it'll, like I said, we'll have to, go through our budget meetings and whatnot, but so it won't be the answer won't be tonight, but
Sure. No, I just appreciate the time and being able to talk with you tonight.
coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I leave these two
Absolutely.
flyers and then I can email you those as well?
We have some donations.
Yes, sir. This is 2026-22. Resolution accepting donations, whereas the city of Monaga gratefully acknowledges the following donations: 500 from West Central in support of Sounds of Spirit Lake, $100 from Chalkers Bakery in support of Sounds of Spirit Lake, $100 from Nordic Coffee House in support of Sounds of Spirit Lake, 3,500 from Gateway Lions in support of the Sounds of Spirit Lake, 2,900 from the Clean Plate in support of the disc golf course. Whereas these contributions help support community events and safety in Monaga, now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Monaga, Minnesota, that the donations described above are hereby accepted with sincere appreciation. Adopted by the Council of the City of Monaga, Minnesota, this the 13th day of July, 2026.
Move to approve.
Second.
I'll second.
Speaking of Spirit Lake, I suppose they'll have to meet with the high school when they start digging up over
Aren't they
there.
doing it at the park or something? Campground, yeah. They're gonna be out at the campground.
Well,
So
the campground, so.
they'll have a good spot out there. And I would sincerely say, I appreciate all these donations to the Sounds of Spirit. Like that's been going over so well in this community.
Boy, it really pulls them in.
It does.
That whole parking lot is packed.
And I mean, we get a lot of donations for it, so that's outstanding. And Wayne at Clean Plate for helping out the disc golf course. That's a pretty big chunk too. And that will draw a lot of people. All right, we got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. At the same time. Thank you for the donations. Set a budget meeting. Well, we found out it kind of doesn't work to have it before a meeting, as nice as it is to do it that way. That didn't seem to work out the best.
I'd asked the council for 2 hours, and I think that's gonna knock out all of the big things we have left, which is gonna be with water, sewer, Parks Beach. I believe those need I think we need at least 2 hours to go through them all and
Oh,
discuss.
yeah, then we've got to go back. We got to go back through the main stuff again, just with the actual,
Conditions and the changes.
so we know what the total is and see where we're at for that. So we have a couple hour meeting and then we probably have to have one after that.
Yep,
To
I
get the-
completely concur.
to get it done. And so what are you guys thinking? What do you got open? What nights work best? It'll have to be an evening meeting, obviously.
I can do Monday and Tuesday evenings, the rest of the nights I'm in Perham doing granddaddy daycare.
How you doing?
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at the 21st, maybe? How soon do you want it? The sooner the better, or what?
That's what I'm thinking. Get a lot of this preliminary stuff over with.
Yeah, I think I'd be available on the 21st. I got something on the 28th and the 27th.
Say 21st at 5.
Yeah, that would work.
We do have the
Oh, that's national, or that's that disc golf thing, isn't it?
yes,
What time is that?
that's happening at 5 as well.
That's on the 21st.
It is.
Should we go with 6? It didn't take that long
Yeah, I
to
think-
look that out there. I think if we went
Yeah.
to 6, we'd be all right. Let's go to 6 PM. July 21st, 6 to 8.
I think you wanted to carve about 2 hours for that.
Yeah, 6 to 8. I'll have a disc golf update.
Yes. I had the opportunity to speak with Wayne Isaacson, who's really hard charging on getting the disc golf course done, and he has graciously offered to do a in-person tour of the expansion and kind of show everybody, the work that's been done, what work is left, and it is open to the entire community to come. And I definitely will be in attendance there. I would encourage our staff, if they're available, and any members of the community that are interested in seeing the progress that we're making, I'd encourage them to be there as well.
The 21st at 5 o'clock.
21st at 5 PM, we're going to meet at the Blueberry Pavilion.
It sounds like they're pretty much done, right? They pretty much got everything mulched up that they're gonna do.
Yes, I think there is, there was, as of last Friday, still some talk about who's coming in to remove all the logs. But I haven't heard anything since. As far as I know, everything is moving according to plan. I know Wayne's been talking with I can't remember the individual's name that's out there cutting the trees. I know that Brian has been linked in, and I know that they've ground some stumps down and they got some open areas to throw those discs.
Yeah, it sounded like they were basically bringing in a mulching head and taking most everything down, just mulching the whole tree down.
Yep.
And just leaving some of the bigger ones. So it'll be interesting to see. Kind of different than when we marked out all the trees and we're gonna take them all out. So we'll probably make it more challenging, I would assume.
I think we're gonna have one of the more interesting boosters in the region. We already have folks from Fargo that come here just to play our 9 holes. Or the 12, 9. And so I think this is only gonna,
With an 18 hole, that may attract tournaments in.
it will attract tournaments, absolutely.
All righty. Well, we'll see how many people can attend. That's July 21st, 5 PM out at the Blueberry Pavilion, out in the park there. All right, next up, consideration for filling city council vacancy discussion. I know we had, Mike, you had somebody interested?
Yeah, Dan Warmbolt, right here, has agreed that he would be willing to come onto the council to fill out the rest of the term. And of course, Dan has the experience with 4 years on council. Been off for a couple of years, but it won't take long for him to get up to speed on the issues that are in front of us. So I would place his name into nomination.
And then there's one other that is interested. This has only been, was it the 29th when we declared the vacancy?
That's correct.
So we're at 2 weeks. And we're missing a council member tonight. I think it would be wise to give it a little more time. See if anybody else steps forward and have all council members present for a vote.
No, I think based on past practice, I think you want to fill that position as soon as possible. So if you're looking at bumping it out another month, I don't think that's a wise move.
Well, they could be appointed at the next meeting.
Well, we can do it tonight too. We got a gentleman right here that's proved that he's got
Well, I know.
experience that's willing to serve.
But we also have another person interested, and we also have one council member missing that doesn't get a say in the matter.
Where is the other person?
Told them they probably won't need to be here because there probably won't be action on it tonight, considering it was a discussion item on the agenda, not an action item.
I would nominate your person, Dan Marble, for that position.
So we want to change it to
Got a
To an
motion
action
and a
item?
second?
Yeah,
so we have a motion. Second, so nobody wants to consider the other person?
we didn't get a chance to have our people considered the last time, so.
I get it.
Okay.
I get the tit for tat deal. It's no problem.
Tit for tat is to fill the spots. We have another opinion.
That's here.
Right.
Right, so we have a motion by Mike. Seconded by Derwin, and the motion is to appoint Dan Warmbold to fill out
Bill Hodges.
the rest of Bill Hodges' term, which would begin, well, I guess it would begin at the next meeting. How we can make it begin as of now.
As of right now.
What's today, the
Did you
13th?
bring the oath of office with you?
No,
You have it in your office?
I can get it very quickly.
That'll run through the end of December.
One of the new, it's always like January, the first.
Yeah, January
Monday.
1st, basically, when the first organizational meeting,
Right.
if anybody runs for council. Motion is second. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Same sign, Dan Warmbold, you will be on the council for the remainder of the year.
Might as well swear him in.
Is that, do we want to swear him in tonight, right now, or do you want to do it at the next meeting?
Chair right here.
Go ahead, swear him in, let's get it done.
Okay, give me just a second. Let me get the, you'll, stand right up down the Lori, okay?
Is this other person you were talking about, are they interested in filing for the position?
They weren't sure. It's the hardest thing it's easy to talk people into filling in because it's a short term and kind of get your feet wet, and then the goal is they get their feet wet and they decide, yeah, we can do this. I try to tell people, and for all you people listening, it's not difficult. It's 5 to 6 hours a month is about what it takes to digest the material, do the meetings. Things have been running pretty smooth. There hasn't been a whole lot of issues to deal with, so it's
I think the mayor's position is pretty time consuming.
there's a lot of extra, but as far as the council members, I mean, I think that 5 to 6 hours is pretty accurate, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it might be a little bit more, it might be a little bit less.
Maybe a long meeting, more information to
Like last
digest.
month?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's times, but
That was almost 4
I'd say
Oh,
average.
that was a long one.
I'd say average, we're at that 5 to 6. And there's a committee meeting here and there, and
Budgeting.
it's pretty basic. We need people. We need people to get interested and step in.
All right, Mr. Barnwell, if you'll, right there. Okay, repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Daniel Warble,
Do hereby solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States. Do hereby solemnly swear
do hereby solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
I will support the Constitution
of the United States,
of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
ordinances of the City of Monaga,
the ordinances of the City of Monaga,
and that I will faithfully,
faithfully,
justly,
justly,
and impartially
impartially,
discharge the duties of council member
guard the duties of this council member,
for the City of Monaga,
City of Monaga,
Minnesota,
Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability.
that's my adjustment and ability.
Thank you, Mr. Warble. Welcome back to the council.
Yep.
I'm gonna have a fresh one and sign them, right?
Welcome back, Carl.
Yeah, no time.
All right, that brings up the Minnesota Small Cities Reengagement. So this is something we were part of for, I think, quite a few years. We were involved with this, and then it just kind of, with everything going on and position changes and whatnot, it just kind of got slipped to the side. So, in my opinion, a very good small city organization that they do a lot of lobbying for our rural small cities and try to get the help they need along with.
I think I
Kind of
heard
a
this
similar.
one before the vote. Is this like a political action on
No, they just do everything they can for the actual small cities. They're a little group of Cheryl Hahn's on it. She's actually the president, I believe.
Region 4 board member.
And she's on there and
Oh, yeah, she's the president.
she is the president. And they reached out to me a while back and I was like, yeah, I know we used to be involved in this. And
I never thought we left. So when I
Yeah.
saw this, I was actually surprised that
so it's a 800, I think it was $842 for the year. And it goes by the population of your city and something else. There's a little formula for it, but that's what it was. I think this year was $842. So just a voice for cities like us.
Be like a lobbying.
Yeah, and yeah, they work with, I mean, they work with Sourcewell, they work with the Initiative Foundation, I'm sure, on different things. And
yeah, and they're an advocacy. Well, when you look at this, you know, you have League of Minnesota Cities that they you know advocate and lobby on behalf of all Minnesota cities. These are specifically for our smaller pop cities, which you know under 5,000, and that's
yeah, there's a pretty good list in here in this paperwork of some of these smaller. Camp Frazee, Nevis, similar to us, just because we can't be out there. We just, you know, we all have jobs, we all have stuff, so these people can help speak for us, and we have somebody that'll listen to us when we have issues and need some help.
it?
You need a motion, Jody?
Yeah, we got an action item for it.
I'll make that motion.
Do you have that number for sure? I think it was 842 if I remember right, but
I have it. I think it's print out.
we should have that as part of the motion, just to make sure. Oh, it was in my email.
Yeah.
I would second, Gilman's.
Yeah, so make sure we add a dollar amount to this before we approve it. $842 or $892?
It was 842. Right. 842 on the nose.
Does that work for you, Durham?
It does. Thank you.
All right, so a motion and a second to approve rejoining the Minnesota Association of Small Cities for $842. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. We'll add Warmbold in on these.
He is.
On the Indiana County opioid settlement. Did you get anything more as far as the ongoing cost of this?
Yes, that should be included in here.
Yeah, it's like 10,007.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's a grant, I believe, right?
Yes, it is.
$10,007.
The yearly fee, after that is approximately $600.
So it was the $50 a month.
Yes.
Real people.
Does that fee cover the device itself? So if the battery goes bad or some other issue, they'll replace it?
As far as I know, that covers all their maintenance for it. So we pay that fee after the 4 years has expired, and they're gonna make sure that everything in there is still
So
serviceable.
the device goes south while they're gonna replace it.
That's correct.
That's over the first 4 years.
No,
The
so
grant covers the first four, right?
yes,
$600 per year for maintenance, right?
After that,
after.
for that 10,700, the first 4 years, we don't pay
Year
anything.
5.
Yeah, year 5, we would start paying that $600 a year.
Be like 20, 30 or
And where-
31.
We had talked about putting it by the pavilion.
Yep, that's where Brian thought and Amy agreed that somewhere right down by the pavilion at the beach would be the best. It's close to the pickleball courts where there's a lot of activity, and the beach where you might have issues, and it's a very public spot there.
Right.
That's close to the school too, when they have fire down there, some kid might collapse.
So it's outside where anybody can get to it, where the ones we have like in the school, people don't know where to run in there and grab one, so.
And I know it had been asked at the last meeting about in the dead of winter, the cold weather and how it's gonna drain the battery, or the heat of the summer is gonna bake it. But the information I read indicated that the container is warmed and has
Yeah, so
ventilation,
I believe there has to be some power to it, and it has its own
heating and
own
ventilation.
inverter in it or whatever to convert power for what it needs. So we will have to look and see. That's probably another reason to have it right close to that pavilion where we have power. There might be a little cost involved in getting power run over to it or something, but majority of everything is covered by the grant for 4 years. So I think personally, I think it's a pretty good thing for the community. So we look for a motion to approve. Everybody? And I'll second. Discussion. All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Both same sign. All right.
Get this down to Wadena County tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I think Joel called me Friday. I think if you just let him know, he'll let her know, however, if you already have contact with her.
Has the county gotten the opioid settlement funds in yet, you know?
I believe they have. I think they got 60,000,
Something.
and that's where this comes out of. that, and it was their push to get this out to the community.
Okay, so somehow that amount made it to look like that.
It was in there.
Losing my knowledge here.
I guess we really, this action request form we had for Laura's, we didn't really have anything to, no action on
No
that.
action.
So that'll bring up our audit report.
Dean, welcome. You found the place.
Nice. Yeah, I had a meeting earlier today, on the east, going east and, not that far, about 40 miles and, it was pretty good. Construction wasn't bad and, so it was, yeah, pretty friendly, friendly driving. So, oh yeah, no, good to be here. Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Yeah, good to be here to run through the, 2025 report and, yeah, normally, we have the, full audit report, but just for a practical matter, we just, have selected pages here and looks like you guys all have the packet and I'll just cite the page, but it's exactly, what is in the audit report. So if you look at the page number in the bottom, and when you guys get your, final bound copies of the report, it's exactly the same stuff. And, there is a separately issued letter at the very tail end, that we're required to issue, and, we'll run through that as well. So,
So this is completely ready for the state then.
yeah, yep. It's final. It's, everything. Yeah, everything's good to go. So, should be good. So, and it looks like Brett has the PowerPoint loaded there. So I'll let you be in charge of that, Brett. So, if I can.
Doesn't want to cooperate.
No, it sure doesn't.
Full screen, Brett.
No. We're just gonna pull out the hammer.
You can just work off this way as well, can't you? You can just work off this document we have in front of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Unless you guys need the power.
I see one of it's there.
Just go off the paper if that works for you guys. So, okay.
We're back up.
All right. Well, if you guys want, we'll just go off the paper here. Yeah, if you want to look at the, first page here, this is the, independent auditor's report. And, that's page 1 on the bottom. And, this is, after we get done with the audit, we've done all of our steps, all of our procedures, all the work, we have to issue a report, an opinion on the financial statements. And, if you guys look at the, second paragraph in this, first page or on this first page, it starts out in our opinion. And that paragraph is our opinion on the financial statements, for 2025. And, I won't read it all, but, basically it's an unmodified opinion. And in our business, an unmodified opinion is the best opinion that we can give. And, for that matter, any other CPA firm can't give a better opinion. You can get different opinions. You can get a lot of different types. You can get modified, qualified, adverse, disclaimers, there's a bunch of different options, but you can't get a better opinion than a unmodified opinion. So that's, at the end of the audit, I think that's, probably the most important, part of the report is that, the opinion, on the financial statements. If you look at the, paragraph below that, it talks a little bit about, Greenwood connections and, with the city's, relationship with, Greenwood. We do include a lot of information about, Greenwood in the city report. And, that, third paragraph talks a little bit about that. And, it says we did not audit the financial statements of Greenwood. It's called a discretely presented component unit. But it does talk about it was audited by other auditors, and, we basically, relied on the information, from that report. there's probably 15, 16 pages in the city report that actually, basically come from, that are very similar to what's in Greenwood. And again, it's because of the relationship the city has with Greenwood. So
And Greenwood also had an unqualified audit.
yes, yeah, exactly. Yep. So anyway, that's the opinion portion. If you guys want to turn to the next page, this is page 9. And the city has 2 types of funds. You have governmental funds, which are on this page. And the next page we'll look at are your enterprise funds, and that's water, sewer, and liquor. Probably the easiest way to put it is the enterprise funds are your water, sewer, liquor. Everything else is considered a governmental fund. The difference between the two is enterprise funds, your water, sewer, liquor, they're basically run like a private business. They should operate on their own. They shouldn't need taxpayer money. And the governmental funds, the page we're looking at here, typically is funded by state aids, property taxes, and those type of things. So that's the big difference between the two. So anyway, if you guys want to look a little closer at page 9 here, the first column is the general fund, and just by looking at the up and down the column, you can see that there's a lot of activity in the general fund, and for just about every city that we audit, the general fund really does the heavy lifting for the city. That's where all of the administration, public safety, public works, all of that is accounted for. And so that's a real active fund. Every other fund, governmental fund, is really just strictly devoted to whatever basically the fund is. The second column is debt service. That is strictly restricted for debt service. It's not like the general fund that's doing all these different things. That's strictly debt service. And so that's really the difference from the general fund to the other funds. Going back to the general fund, if you look at the very bottom of that first column, the bottom number is the ending fund balance for the general fund. And a good question might be, what's an adequate fund balance for the general fund? And there's a lot of guidance out there, and the calculation is basically your ending fund balance divided by your total expenditures, which that's in the middle of the page there. And you guys are right at about 50%. And Brett's giving a thumbs up there. Yeah, that's good. And that's really 20 to 50% is considered recommended by a lot of the guidance out there. And so that fund balance has, you look back a few years, going back 4 or 5 years into your reports, city's come a long way.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
report is. Yeah, it was actually, I think, almost
400 some dollars.
$400 some
yeah,
dollars.
it was getting down to the Mason-Dixon line, and so
That
that's
was 4 years ago, wasn't
Might have been 5.
it was 4 or 5. It was somewhere in
it?
there.
Not long
Pretty
ago.
close. Yep. So you
A
guys-
long ways.
yeah, it's just really, yep. It's like I say, it's actually up within the recommended levels, and compared to before it was where it was at. So
Where do you see it? What kind of percentage do you see it for communities of a comparable nature to Monaga? Where do you normally see their balances?
yeah, it's a good question, and it runs a gamut. Some cities, and that number started literally, when the city started. In a perfect world, governmental budgeting, you budget $1 of revenue for $1 of expenditures, and if in a perfect world, the bottom that'd be 0, because every budget dollar you took in would be every budget expenditure you spent. Well, in the real world, you need a surplus in there, just to operate and have cash on hand. It runs the gamut. Where you guys are at is pretty, it's pretty common, 50%. Some are higher and some are lower. It runs the gamut, but you guys are right. I think, if we took all of our city reports and we do a lot of them, I think that number would be real close to that, 50, at least right off the top of my head. I think you guys are right there. The other side of it is, you want too much, and that's, that would be, that would mean you're basically building a surplus, and, like I say, you probably need a little surplus, but you want it to grow to a point.
It can hurt you for grants and bonds and different.
Yeah,
things.
it might, the taxpayers might say, why is it, 4 times?
We didn't really tax
Highly.
much,
Yeah.
but you would consider us in a very healthy position.
Yeah, I think, like I say, compared to the guidance, you guys are right there, 20 to 50%. That's from the GFOA, and that's the Government Finance Officers Association. And, that's what they do, and that's their guidance, 20 to 50. And, you guys are right at 50. So yeah, I think you guys are right on target there. It might grow a little in the future, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. No, I don't think so. So anyway, yeah, that's just a quick look at the governmental funds. If you guys want to turn to the next page, this is the enterprise funds, the proprietary funds. Again, these are run similar to a private business and really don't depend on the city property taxes or state aids or things like that. And so if you look about 2/3 of the way down the page, there's a row that says net income, loss before transfers and capital contributions. That's basically if you were a for-profit business, that would be considered kind of the net income line. And as you can see, just going across the columns, the first couple, water, sewer, they have some brackets on them. And the reason is really, for the most part, and this is really common in our city audit business, is if you go up to under the operating expenses there, about another third of the way up the financial statement, there's depreciation. Yeah, depreciation is a big number, and that's things that most of the big stuff is the underground water sewer projects that you guys put in, and they're being depreciated over 30, 40 years, and those are big numbers, big expenses, and they tend to sometimes make that bottom line look a little bit lower than is what it's proper accrual accounting. But if you look at a cash flow statement, both of those funds are cash flowing because you add back that depreciation. It's a non-cash expense. So anyway, third column is the liquor store, and if we look at that same net income line, as you can see, the liquor store had a profit there, and if you go down from that profit, the liquor store did transfer some money to the I believe it was a general fund, if I'm not mistaken, and so that's a good thing. That's what with the liquor fund, that's the way it's ideally works, is if you guys can move some money around to the general fund and help lower the some of the burdens on the things that can offset some increases and other things. So, but overall, I think your enterprise funds look, like I say, to be in a good position, and yeah, seem to be operating as intended. So
just a point of reference here on that liquor store, you're showing it.
if you guys resource on the Minnesota State Auditor website, it's they accumulate all the information from all the Minnesota cities with the liquor, and they put all that data into their database. and they segregate by area, west central Minnesota, wherever. And total, it's a really good resource, and I compare to, the rest of the Minnesota liquor stores. And, we do it when we always look at, gross margins, and we always compare, the city gross margins to the state. And if I don't have it off the top of my head, but I believe you guys were right in line with the gross margins, but they also have, the bottom line too, and expenses. It's a real good resource, and easy to find. It's there for everybody. It's public information. So
Even better than that, Gerwin, it's actually 188.6 when you add back depreciation.
Yeah, I was trying to find we did that
Yeah, I don't
year
see
cave
that.
improvement.
I don't see
We
that.
spent like
capital outlay.
75,000.
Yeah, it was close to 75 grand. I don't see that in here.
yeah, you
Under,
guys,
like,
and that would have
capital.
been set up, and it's being depreciated. It's part of that depreciation. Yeah, yeah. So that'll be spread out over, oh gosh, was it 15 years, 10 or 15 years? I don't recall the life, but yeah, you guys will be getting that expense over time. So okay. Next page is page 31 on the bottom, and this is the note 7. It's long-term obligations. I'd just like to go through it real quick with you guys. It's basically long-term debt to the city from the beginning of the year. If you look at the column on the left, 2024, and then it shows any increases, the second column, and then the third column is any the decreases are the payments on the long-term debt, and then the balance 2025 is that's the outstanding long-term debt at the end of 25. So, and if you look at the top number there, the bonds, a good chunk of that is the Greenwood connections bonds, and just the way that's structured, the debt. The city's carrying the debt, but Greenwood is paying. You guys collect the principal and interest from Greenwood, but it's on your books. You guys are reporting, and but the money does come from Greenwood, and you guys make the payments for the debt because it's in the city's name. So that's included, and kind of makes that number look a little bit bigger just because of that. So hey,
One question for you,
Sure.
that I'd like to ask is, what is that net pension liability about? Because the pension's through PERA.
and
So
that's
why is that showing up as a liability in our books?
that's a good question. It is that's what it is. The PERA net pension liability, and according to the generally accepted accounting principles that we prepare your report on, the city is required to report your portion of the PERA liability, not only PERA, but your police and fire. There's the public employees there, police and fire, and it's been a few years now, but it's probably 25 years that's been around. The city's governmental entities were required to report that. Before that, you weren't.
So does
So all
this
it-
represent what we have contributed into those pension funds?
No, the way I look at it is if the world came to a grinding halt on December 31st, 2015, make your pension liability be able to service those pensions for the life of those pensions, you'd have to cough up that much.
So you actuarially apply the actuary to the employees for their age and all that.
Yep, they do the
Calculate it all.
Exactly. Yep. So
And that's what we'd have to kick in based on those.
exactly. Yep. Well, it's a good question. Yep, that's exactly what it is. So, but I've been asked before, council will ask, do we have to pay it? And it's you guys, you don't have to pay it. You're making your PERA and your police contributions just the way you're set up to, and those contributions are, sometimes those rates will change but you're just basically paying those contributions along with the employee portion. So that part, that's always been the same, that this is strictly a reporting thing. So I always go back to politics, and who doesn't like talking politics? Some of the the politicians used to say, you don't even know what the unfunded pension liabilities are for all these governments and stuff 25 plus years ago. Well, now you have a pretty good idea. We went through all the governmental reports and added up these numbers. There is data now. So yeah, it's kind of interesting, but okay, if you guys want to go to the next page, it's 32, and top part of this page is the same thing we just looked at, but instead of the governmental funds, this is your enterprise funds. As you can see, for the top portion there with the bonds and the notes, the balance of 2025 is you guys are getting those balances. They're decreasing nicely. So the term debt, looks pretty good there. So, and again, on this one too, we have the net pension liability for the enterprise funds, just like we had for the governmental funds, because they're water, sewer, and electric employees, just like the public, the governmental side employees. So in the last, just the bottom part of that, just a quick note on that. It just shows a little summary for each individual debt issue. And I think it's interesting to look, if you look at the interest rate column, if you look at some of the debt issues from back in 2020 and 1% debt back then, and 2015 it was 1%, and so now it's quite different these days with interest rates with what has happened. They're increasing, but so you guys have some real nice rates on that long-term debt. That's those are real good rates. And this does include the nursing home debt too. If you can see, it actually it says nursing home debt, nursing home revenue, I should say, that 2017 A1, and that's the biggest number there. Just talked about that one ago. In fact, the top one is the 2012 A, the top number. That's part of the nursing home. So a lot of that debt is really applicable to the nursing home. So
But that won't be satisfied next year, huh? 2012 matures next year, so that $65,000 will drop off.
yeah. So that'll be looking better. So yeah, no, I think the city's long-term debt looks it's in very good shape. And it runs a gamut. Of course, when you have a big project, debt is always generally part of it, and it's a lot of it's timing too. But at least as it stands today, it looks it looks pretty good. So okay, if you guys turn to the next page, you guys are all dying to get out back into the nice cool weather out there. So try to speed up here. The next page is page 88, and as part of our audit, we look at the city's internal controls, and we just have a few findings related to that. First one is preparation of the financial statements and footnotes. We prepare the financial statements, basically the full audit report from front cover to back cover. And if we do that, we have to make sure we have controls in place to make sure that we're independent. We can't take responsibility for it because we have independence issue as auditors. So what we do, we send a draft copy of this full report to Kelly and Brett, and then give the city the chance to review it and approve it. And once they do that, if there's changes, you guys will let us know, and we need to make those changes. We make those changes, and then after that, then a representation letter is signed, and then at that point we can issue the report, and you guys have accepted the responsibility for the preparation of the financial statements. And in our business, it's probably a 95% finding. Very few of our cities prepare their own financial statements, cover to cover. It's just, really a cost benefit if you did it. You'd probably have to hire, another firm to do it and, cost, it's not. So. The next page, page 89, the next finding is segregation of duties. Ideally, every transaction of the city should have two sets of eyes on them. And a lot of transactions do, but under ideal segregation of duties, sometimes that's difficult with the size of the office and the staff. Again, that's the kind of the number of people. The example I always use is the person who gets the mail, opens the mail, makes a deposit, records the activity in the books, keeps track of accounts payable, accounts receivable. All of those things ideally should be a separate person. And where the city does have, you guys do have good segregation of duties, but the barometer is this ideal segregation of duties. And again, it's a cost benefit to have all those ideal segregation of duties. It's just not real cost effective. But what it doesn't mean, it does not mean the city does not have good internal controls. City has, very good internal controls, especially, at the meetings like this where you guys are reviewing the reports, the invoices, signing off on things and all that. All of those are really good controls.
So based on what you just said, is there a higher risk of fraud with our setup, or is it a lower risk?
I'd say you guys, it's fairly typical. I'd say it's fairly typical. The councils, get a chance to review the bill and those type of things. I'd say it's very, very typical. In our business, I would say 90% of the time, 90% of the time when we see problems is with a bank reconciliation. If a city loses control of their bank reconciliation, then things can go real south in a hurry. And you guys, that's not an issue. But that's generally where
So we see it.
Yeah, that's where we see it. Yeah.
These findings have been every year. I found them in every audit. These two things, because of our size.
Yeah.
We
I'm
don't have
not,
enough
yeah,
people.
I'm not saying we're at risk here, just it was a general comment and you gave me a general statement.
Yeah, and when I leave, I usually get in the car and I go, I think they're saying right now, it's the same thing you said last year.
Well, it's been good for the last 3 years
No,
at least.
right. Yeah, so. Okay, last one there on page 90 is audit adjustments. For some of the financial statements, we have to make audit adjustments, which are larger adjustments, and therefore what we call government-wide statements. And it's very common. We just have to record things that are larger for the government funds, long-term debt, long-term assets, and it's just part of what we have to do to get to those statements. We didn't look at those statements today, but that's what it's about. So again, probably 95% of our findings.
And here, I just, from looking at this page, and it may appear to you all, I just caught it in this page. You refer to city administrator. We don't have a city administrator. We have city clerk treasurer.
We are terminology, then we use the wrong terminology. Now, I'll make here, yeah. We'll make note and we'll get
Another
that.
one down there.
Yeah. But it's.
City clerk treasurer.
Probably, are you guys okay with it this year? Get an update on the future or?
Is this already done?
It's final, it's, you guys did get the final report, I believe, so let me check if we, yeah, let me, I'll check tomorrow and see where, if it's, I don't think it's been distributed at this point, but, so I think we could probably get the change in before we get you guys those final ones, so, yeah, I think we can. If not, I'll let you know too, so. Okay. The next page is, this one is, called communication to no charge governance. That is, the council. This is required, for all of our audits and, And the first page is really just talks about some things that we won't really need to look at, but if you guys turn to the second page, just a handful of items here that we are required to report. Difficulties encountered in performing the audit. We did not have any difficulties in performing the audit. We're required to report that. If we did, we'd have to report that too. Corrected and uncorrected misstatements. We talked about that a little bit ago. That's audit adjustments. The end of the audit, we give all the adjustments that need to be posted into the city records to Kelly. And she posts those into the city books. And so at the end of the process, our audit report agrees with the city records, and it's a really important step, and that's been done. So the next item is disagreements with management. We did not have any disagreements with management. We are required to report that, and if we did, we'd have to report that as well. The next item, management representations. We talked about that. That's that rep letter that we get after you guys approve the audit. And the next item is management consultations with other independent accountants. That would be a situation where the city might say, you know what, we really don't like the way, you're reporting the Greenwood connections. We don't want it in our report. And you talk to another CPA firm. We call it opinion shopping. If we were aware of that, we would have to let you guys know. We're not aware of that. We have to report that too. So that takes care of the things that I was going to run through. And but yeah, again, the audit went well. Everything audit went well. Yeah. Records are in good order, and everything going very well. So with that, if you guys have any questions or comments about the audit, anything, any questions?
Are we under contract with you for next year, or how does that work?
It's a good question. I don't think so. I think we just kind of have been doing it on an annual basis. Usually, I think the initial, when we started working with the city years ago, I think there was like a 3-year, might have been a 3-year. That's pretty common. But then I think once we get beyond that 3 years, a lot of times it's just an annual like that. That's totally up to you guys. I'll check, but I don't believe so. I think it's just been an annual. We send out the engagement letter and you guys
Do we
review
take
it.
action on that at the reorganizational meeting? I don't remember. We name who our auditors are, so that's basically approving.
And we can put out RFPs for it if we choose to, but
I
we
think
did
it's been going.
that a couple of years ago.
Yeah, we did. I think it was as early as last year, and
Did we do RFP last year?
Yeah, it was last
Did
year.
we?
yes,
For a 3-year commitment, wasn't it?
no, it wasn't for a 3-year
No.
commitment. I have to look at the language, but
Well, that being said, so if you send us an engagement letter and we approve it, we go move on.
Yep, just have an ongoing.
Sure.
Thing.
I think we will do RFPs for 3 years, but we would prepay the 3 years up front. We got some very nice discounts.
Yeah, that helps.
Well, anybody have any questions for Dean?
Thanks for your good work.
Thank you, appreciate it. Well, thank you guys. And one last note, this is probably my last go around. I'm probably gonna be retiring in March, so that'll be
Why would you want to do that? You're having so much fun.
4 years. Right out of college, been doing it, so it'll be 40 years next year, so yeah, no, I'm
Do you see numbers in your dreams?
yeah, if I do, I wake up screaming. So.
Yes, you audit or do you do taxes?
I used to do a little bit in tax and stuff, but now it's mainly audit. Yeah. So, but overall, since I started 40 years ago, yeah, I've mainly been in the
Are you
audit.
a senior partner?
I was a partner for 16 years, and about 5 years ago, it was 2019, well, I'm 5 now, that I sold out my partnership interest. So I'm a principal. And what a principal is, basically you have the partner equivalent, I sign the reports and that's a partner responsibility. And I do all that. I do the oversight partner, that part of it, but, the big difference is, W-2 on the K-1 is not all, just a employee, but I get to do the so, well, that's a difference, so.
Well, I'm good working with you.
Yeah, thank you for your.
Well, it's a pleasure working with you guys too, and, the new guy, is Greg Burkhardt is his name. Actually, we acquired a CPA firm, on January 1st, and, they're very comparable to us, and their book is real similar to ours, and, so he'll be the guy where I'm sitting, and, but Shannon will still, she's the one that, works real close with the city, and she'll still be working closely with the city, and she does a really, really. She does, so yeah, and Greg's really good too. I've met him, just got to know him over the last few months.
And the firm name has not changed.
No, their firm became part of our firm. We acquired
You
them.
acquired them.
Yep.
And out of Fergus Falls too, or?
No, they're actually, they've got a couple locations. The main office is in Mankato. And, the world's become so much more remote with, just, all these capabilities, like all this stuff, going out in the field is just so different than it used to be. But in talking with Greg, I know he likes to get out, talk to you guys and all that. So I suspect that's what his plans will be. So, but like I've been telling, the clients of them making the rounds here, he's pretty good and stuff, but you just gotta, the only thing I ask you is just tell me the other guy's better. You don't have, to, but that's.
Yeah, it's a tough act to follow.
I
Right?
can't, no. You can have to.
As presented.
Yeah, we should.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
You bet.
So we better have a motion to accept the audit as presented.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Both same sign. All right, and before we adjourn, just a reminder that the meeting next month on the 10th is over at Greenwood in the basement.
Down in the basement.
So, and to everybody out there, there's seats open on the council. Gotta sign up. Get involved. All right, other than that, we'll take a motion to adjourn. Second,
Did you get
Daniel.
all on your?
Dan, second.
Well, he made a,
All in favor, say aye.
aye.
Adjourned at 7:42.
I'll get all that.
21st.
I'll do. Hey, thank you everyone for attending tonight, and we'll see you at Greenwood Connections next month.
Why would we have to be able to?
Elections, we have to set up
Oh,
the
that's
room.